So in all my years of teaching, I've found the difference between a musician and someone who just plays a couple of songs on the guitar is an understanding of music. So to bridge that gap, today we're going to be talking a little bit about music theory. Music with Mike. Hey everyone, my name's Mike Hilbun, and today we're going to be learning music theory for the working musician. All the stuff you need to know when you're playing on stage in front of other people. To start things off, let's talk about the building blocks that make up all scales. Intervals. Intervals are how we measure pitch in music. You can think of them like any other unit of measurement that you might have for length, volume, or time. We measure intervals with numbers 1 through 7. If two notes are 4 pitches apart, then that's an interval of a fourth. If they're 5 notes apart, that's the interval of a fifth, so on and so forth. But right now we're going to be looking at one of the smallest intervals that we have, seconds. Now seconds is more of a classroom term. More commonly you'll hear people refer to these as steps or tones. You might hear whole steps, half steps, or whole tones and semitones. The most common thing you'll hear is steps. The smallest interval we have possible is a half step, which is 1 fret on the guitar or 1 key on the piano. So a whole step is 2 frets on the guitar or 2 frets on the piano. Scales are made up of a series of whole steps and half steps, which you could think of as a formula. Each different type of scale has a different formula that corresponds to it. This series of whole steps and half steps gives each scale its own individual sound. Let me show you what I mean. The major scale has a very specific formula of whole steps and half steps if you want to get that major scale sound. So from any starting note, all you have to do is plug in that formula and bam, there you go. You've got that major scale. So from here, we're going to go up a whole step, which is 2 keys. We're going to go up another whole step, another 2 keys, a half step, which is 1 key. From there, 3 more whole steps, and then 1 more half step gets us back to our starting note. And that's how you get your major scale. You can do the same thing starting on any pitch. Let's do one more. Let's start with E this time. From here, we're going to go up a whole step, which is 2 keys. We're going to go up another whole step, another 2 keys. We're going to go up a half step. We're going to do 3 more whole steps. And that last half step gets us back to our starting note. These concepts apply to all music. Let's look at guitar for a minute. If you remember, a half step on guitar is 1 fret, and a whole step is 2 frets. So, let's do the same thing that we just did. Let's start on E, on our low E string, and we'll go up that same major scale formula. From the starting note, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And that half step gets us to our double dotted 12th fret, which is an octave of E. So there you go. That's how you make a major scale. There are plenty of other types of scales too. Minor scales, diminished scales, so on and so forth. And each one of them has their own individual, unique half step, whole step formula, like I like to call it. The major scale, however, is probably the most commonly found scale in music, used by everyone from Beethoven to Duke Ellington, the Beatles to Michael Jackson, and Mariah Carey to Lady Gaga. And this is why it's so important to have an intimate knowledge about the major scale. And it all starts small with having an understanding of how to create one. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's going to be part 1 of a music theory video series that I'm planning, so stay tuned for the next episode. If you have any questions or idea for a topic you'd like me to cover in a future video, please leave a comment down below. And also, as I get really started in this YouTube thing, let me know what's working for you, what's not. I'd love to get your input. That's all for now. I'm Mike Hilbun. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.